It's Timeout Corner, and you are in the corner. Now, this is going to be a really quick rebuttal on the CraigHeadPro on why the Sony Playstation 4 is winning the console war. I did agree with some of the things he did have in that video, but for the most part, I think it was a bunch of a thin line walking. The article and his little 2 cents on what he thought about the article and his how he thought about the article. I thought it was a lot of thin line walking going on there. For one, what I agreed on was pretty much this is what I agreed on basically. What he said about Microsoft and how they're trying to force things on you, how to try to give consumers things that they don't want and not giving too many options. I agree with that for a little bit. In the fact that they tried it at first, they saw the fair reaction, so they changed their ways before the Xbox One came out. But they did still try to force the Connect down your throat. But they took that away as well. But that was just recently. So yes, Microsoft had a little issue with that, but they changed their ways. So you could look at it like that. You could also mention that Microsoft did listen to the consumers or the complaints, and they did change the policy on the Xbox One. But let's not try to act like Sony is a halo over their head. We all know Sony was pretty much going to do something similar to that. I mean, didn't one of the higher Sony reps or higher ups in Sony basically just come out this month or last month and basically admit that they changed their script for E3 last year before they came out on stage because they saw what happened to Microsoft? Didn't they just admit this? That tells me that they were pretty much going to do the same exact things. But but other than that, they were pretty much on point about what they said about forcing things down your throat. Now, another thing I thought he was correct about was when he said about Nintendo. About people not. At least is what I thought he was trying to say, that people weren't too sure about what it was. Yes, Nintendo did a horrible job marketing the Wii U. That's one of the main reasons why they didn't keep doing good after launch. They did a pathetic job, actually, in my opinion. Nintendo did crap marketing the Wii U. Heck, I'm pretty sure I know people who actually I knew a lot of people who didn't even know what the Wii U was, and they were gamers. So I'm obviously not as hardcore as me or game as much into gaming as me. But there were a lot of people that I knew, even at work, who didn't even know what the PS4 was. And these are some people who play Xbox 360 and PS3 a lot, and they didn't even know what the Wii U was. So Nintendo did a horrible job marketing, a horrible job. So Nintendo messed up on that part. They didn't market it worth of crap. So a lot of people didn't even know about it. But that's that. We all know about that. Now, here's where things start to get a little whack. It says Nintendo is people only bought the Nintendo for Mario, or it's collecting dust because they bought it for Mario or whatnot. That's a bunch of BS. And that is for kids. I just made a video about why Nintendo is for kids, explained in detail. And basically what I was saying is people are full of BS when they say that Nintendo is for kids, because to me it doesn't make any sense. And you guys are basically using a talking point. That's basically what people use for an excuse when they want to talk about Nintendo. They don't have anything else to say because they really can't think of anything intelligent for themselves, to come up with their own reason why they don't like Nintendo. They have to use a talking point, and that's the Nintendo's for kids. When in reality, basically most of Nintendo's games are family games. And what does that mean? It means you can't outgrow something that's not meant to be outgrown. Go check out that video I made. I explained further in detail. But basically what I say is, if something is meant for kids, then that means it is meant to be outgrown. If something is not meant to be for kids, then that means it is not meant to be outgrown. An example I use is pretty simple. If you played basketball when you were a kid, that doesn't mean you can outgrow basketball. You may become disinterested in basketball. You may not like basketball no more, but you can't outgrow basketball because it is not a kid's thing. It is not something that is meant to be outgrown, and it's not meant to be outgrown because it is not for kids. So this whole thing that Nintendo's for kids and that's not who they should be trying to market is, to me, it doesn't make sense. It's not a kid's console. Plain and simple. We all know this, that Nintendo has more than kids games. But go check out my video if you want to get more than that. But anyway, pretty much anyways, what I want to talk about is when he says that Nintendo, the gamepad was pretty much I'm laughing now. They try to compete with the tablet makers, or they try to say to people, hey, look at us. We're trying to be innovative. We're different. And to me, I'm thinking like, why can't it just be that Nintendo really just wanted to try to give people a new experience to play the game? Sorry about that. Why can't it just be that? See, people are once again using another talking point. That it's a gimmick. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, gimmick this. Oh, gimmick that. All they got is Mario. All they got is Zelda. All they got is Metroid. Same talking points. Same BS. Same BS. Once again, why can't it be that Nintendo just wanted to put... they just had the 3DS. Was the 3DS not successful? So why couldn't it be that Nintendo just didn't want to bring that experience over to a console and made that the focal point of it? Heck, the PlayStation 4 controller has a touchpad on it. Didn't the Sony handheld just have a touchpad on it? So maybe Sony just wanted to bring that touchpad experience to the console. So they put it on their controller. So why can't you look at it in that sense, that they just wanted to bring an experience from something previous that they had to their home console? And this ain't the first time Nintendo has experimented with second screen experiences. The 3DS wasn't, or the DS wasn't the first time they tried that. Game & Watch, and does anybody remember Game & Watch? Game & Watch? That had 2 screens. So, can we just all say that Nintendo just wanted to try that on a home console? Give people that experience, try it out? Yeah. If Sony can try out the touchpad on the PlayStation 4 controller, and that not be a gimmick, why can't Nintendo try a touchscreen, second screen on a home console, and that not be a gimmick? And in reality, everything is a gimmick. Everything is a gimmick. It just depends on what becomes standard. What becomes the standard? What becomes the custom? Joysticks were once a gimmick. Rumble was once a gimmick, etc., etc. It just depends on if it becomes standard, if people start to accept it. And Nintendo are the ones who made the joystick on the game on a home console. Nintendo is the one who put the Rumble in the controller. It became standard though. Once again, you guys just ignore these things. And I like how they say that the Nintendo Wii U specs are a joke. In what manner? Because honestly, I'm gonna make a video about this, a separate video. But the Drive Club, one of the Drive Club developers came out and when he had a little, he was talking with somebody, interview or something, but they was talking about innovative ways to make the game better. And he said something about weather. I'm like, I don't think that's innovative at all. But and then I guess he had a question. Somebody asked him about having a second screen experience, and he said they thought about it, but he thought about the issues people may have about where to put the second screen at, and latency issues. Latency issues. The PS4, as powerful as it is, they're worried about latency issues. They had latency issues trying to make a second screen experience. Now, I look at the Wii U and I'm like, I don't have any latency issues. I don't have any delays. Any of that crap with the Wii U and the gamepad. Here we have it. So you're looking at it from a different angle, saying Nintendo specs are garbage, but in reality, Nintendo just spent their research and development and all of their money in different areas. They spent that in different areas. Sony and Microsoft, mainly Sony, spent their money in research in better graphics. Nintendo spent it in a different gaming experience. Notice I said in a different gaming experience. Because I said, everything is a gimmick. Even better graphics is a gimmick. Because one reason why graphics could be a gimmick is because this simple reason. Once you get past the awe factor, there's an awe factor with graphics. Once you get past that awe factor, which is probably after your first, second, third time playing the game, you start to realize how the actual game plays. Excuse me for 1 second. Once you realize how the actual game plays, the awe factor goes away. You get used to the graphics. The graphics no longer, it's okay, whatever. How is the game? So the graphics only last for so long. You only get caught off guard. You only stop paying attention to the game for so long. Once the awe factor about the graphics go away, the gimmick is up. How is the gameplay? Recent games on the PS4 pretty much show that, is the truth. But that's pretty much what I got to say about that. Now, when it comes on the PS4 and he starts to say PS4 won because they do things that Xbox One and the Wii U don't do, such as third-party accessories like hard drives and flash drives. I'm scratching my head because I'm thinking like, wait a minute. No, that's not true. The Wii U allows third-party accessories just like hard drives and flash drives. Matter of fact, for the PS4, Sony had to get an update to their console to even allow third-party accessories like flash drives and hard drives, because they weren't going to allow it at first. Why would you need an update to allow it? I'll tell you why. Because Sony, like I said before, they weren't going to. They were pretty much going to do the same thing Microsoft was going to do. They just changed it because they saw the backlash Microsoft got. So let's not try to act like Sony's just have this halo over their head. Like I said, why would you need an update to allow third-party accessories like it was locked? Like you weren't going to allow it at first. So that tells me that they weren't even going to allow you to do that. I mean, let's be honest, people. Let's be honest. But like I said, let's not try to act like there's not another console that doesn't allow that. And they say they also offer competitive services that rival their own services. I'm thinking like, and they show Netflix and Hulu and all this other crap, and I'm like, the Wii U offers that, and I'm sure as heck, sure, Microsoft offers that. So why are you guys trying to act like the PS4 is the only console that offers other services besides their own? Like, what I mean, so this whole video to me is basically a fail. And he tries to say that they don't force webcams, gimmicky motion controls, and all the other stuff down your throat. I'm like, okay, Microsoft may have tried that, and they may have did it with the Kinect, but now it's gone. But for the Wii U, I'm like, what did they force down anybody's throat? With the Wii, they forced motion controls. But with the Wii U, they didn't force nothing. The gamepad, they try to say gimmicky. Like I said, everything is a gimmick at one time. But it can't be a gimmick if that's what you use to play the game with. I mean, to me, the gamepad's not a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. If that's a gimmick, then so is the touchscreen on the PS4 controller. Simple as that, people. Simple as that. Now, that's pretty much what I have to say about the video. Like I said, it's sort of like a good video in a way, but they start to fail once you start paying attention to what they're saying. Because to me, it seems like all they're trying to do is make it seem like the PS4 is doing things, allowing you to do things that these other consoles aren't allowing to do, which is why the PS4 is winning the race, or winning whatever you want to call it. And to me, I have to say is, you guys are walking a bunch of thin line. You guys are thin lining it because most of the things you said, you can do on other consoles. So your video makes no sense and it's irrelevant because most of the things you say, you can do on other consoles. So I don't know why you're trying to make it seem like you can only do this on PS4. And that's why I'm trying to say is like, it doesn't make sense. It's a bunch of lies and a bunch of BS's, because if you're going to make a video like this, then you should only present the things that you could only do on that console, and you should only present things that Sony is giving you the options to do. Like, he also tried to make it seem like at the end of the video, he showed the PlayStation TV, how you could play PlayStation 3 games and stuff like that. And I'm like, you can play Wii games on the Wii U. You can download games on your Wii U and play them and buy them from previous generations as well. So not only does the Wii U, PS4 does it, the Wii U does it out the gate. So once again, he tried to make it seem like only the PS4 is offering these things, when in fact other consoles do it as well. That's my gripe about this video. That's why I had to do a rebuttal, because it makes no sense. It starts off like it's gonna make sense, but then you see it and it's like, it doesn't make sense. To me, the only reason why the PS4 is winning is because Sony marketed it right, and Sony hit hard. They pushed. You know what? Sony did push gimmicks on people. They pushed the graphics gimmick on people. They pushed that we have 1080p, 60 frames per second. That's a gimmick right there. They pushed we have Blu-ray playback ability like they did with the PS3. That's a gimmick, people. But you guys don't see it like that, like I see it. Once again, this is my rebuttal. This is my opinion about the video. I don't think it was I think it was an utter failure, to be honest. Like I said, if you can do most of those things, basically everything you said in that video on other consoles, to me it's a failure, because you try to make it seem like that's all on PS4 and only on PS4. And for that I say, you guys can get out of timeout. You're not in trouble anymore, but you still are stupid. You know, that's just my thing when I say, so I'm not calling you stupid. But anyways, that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's it. So like I said, I just don't think that The video was too much honest, and yeah, I just think it was a failure. So that's pretty much it right there.